So let's move on to one that I find quite fascinating, and it's one that has really kind of risen to the top of interest in supplements
Mhm.
lately, especially as it relates to sleep and getting better sleep, and that's magnesium. And magnesium comes, as I've studied, in many different forms, and it's confusing. I mean, whether A, to take magnesium or not, and
Right.
B, if you decide, yes, I want to take magnesium, what form of magnesium?
Yeah.
Heidi?
So magnesium plays a role in muscle contraction, right? That's one reason why it plays from a food perspective a major role in the DASH diet, dietary advances to stop hypertension. And we talk about having, adequate um, fruits and vegetables and dark leafy greens, and it's found in pumpkin seeds and chia seeds and almonds and cashews and greens like spinach and grains and all of that. So it's great, again, dietarily. Diseases of the digestive tract, which is true for all, as you mentioned, probably for all of these, like if you have Crohn's disease or celiac or colitis, it can deplete magnesium. If alcohol abuse, diabetes, proton pump inhibitors, like if you're taking for more than a year, which can reduce our stomach acid. And so that could also deplete our magnesium, like Prilosec or Nexium. So those are people who are a little bit more prone. It is interesting because magnesium is abundant in our food, so in our food supply, yet, excuse me, I have some allergies, yet it is also true that maybe 25% of people or more don't seem to get enough. Adolescents and people over 71 are more likely to be low on intake. Um, but most people don't have a deficiency. The science is really unclear. Magnesium deficiency is not associated with an increased risk of insomnia. Although,
Interesting.
but there is some support. And this is where, even as a practitioner, it's tough to sort through all of the research because sometimes, is it a well designed study? What are the other contributing factors? But it does look like magnesium may help with falling asleep because we know when we talk about sleep challenges, there are those people who have trouble falling asleep, then there are those people who have trouble staying asleep. Like there's different elements to sleep. Um, so it may help you fall asleep. However, it didn't really affect total sleep time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and so that's sort of interesting. And what I find really interesting, I'm learning more and more about, is sleep apnea,
Mm-hmm.
especially postmenopausal sleep apnea. It's much higher and it doesn't track the same way we would think because most people who are postmenopausal don't have the same symptomology. But sleep apnea may contribute to lower levels of magnesium. And it's not that if you have lower levels, you get sleep apnea, but it may be sort of the inflammation that comes with sleep apnea and sleep deprivation depletes your magnesium. So, again, these are tricky things to tease out, but I'm not so sure magnesium is the answer to your sleep issues. And, sleep doctor, try to unpeel that onion.
But beyond sleep, what else can magnesium do? I mean, the medical experts that I referenced, no names, please, at the beginning, they talk about magnesium as almost a cure-all for a lot of different things, for helping with bone, with helping to, lots of different areas of your body are being helped apparently by
Yeah.
an increase in intake of magnesium.
Yeah, and again, I don't know that that's wrong. It's the scare tactics and all of these nutrients do a lot of different things in our body. And as you said, what is it that you need and going for? So it does help with bone health. Magnesium is an important, along with calcium and vitamin D and K, it does help with with our bone health. And I think it's fine to supplement with. I actually, with all of these, you take a 1 a day multivitamin because you're going to get it in there. We're
Right.
really talking about 200 milligrams is safe and sufficient. If you don't have a known deficiency, you don't really need more. If you have a known deficiency, then you might go up a little higher. The upper tolerable limit is from supplements is about, I think, 350 milligrams. But the idea is it's not like even if some is good and I might need a little more is better. Because
Yes.
if
No.
you think
Mm-mm.
that's a positive effect, it could have a negative effect when taken too much. So in terms of the types. Um, I would say that magnesium chloride, citrate, and some chelated forms are better absorbed. Um, Magnesium oxide, less expensive, but not as well absorbed, and it could cause stomach upset, diarrhea, which is one of
Mm-hmm.
the reasons it can be used as a laxative for
Right.
people who are struggling with constipation. Of course, almost always I like to back that up and kind of look at why you're having trouble with constipation. Do you need that as a laxative, or do you need more fiber? Like, what else is going on? Or not eating enough food? Is that why you're constipated? So I just think, like, again, with all of these, it's good to have a solution or to know there's a supplement that may help, but also let's look at what's going on. The magnesium three, I
Three
mean,
and eight.
yeah,
L3 and 8.
that's been promoted for memory enhancement, and the
Right.
studies just have shown little or no effect. And so I do think practitioners who um, see a study where something might be or indicates it on occasion, and then jump on it as being the cure all or the
Yes, we've
answer to
seen that a lot in
fine.
media and on social media. I
Right.
have to tell you, I do take magnesium. I do take a supplement. I just started, so I can't really say. And my sleep is normally pretty good, so I didn't really do it for sleep, although I do take it before I go to sleep, just in case it might make me sleepy. And
Mhm.
I take the magnesium glycinate,
Mhm.
which when I did some research, apparently
Yeah,
that is, it is highly absorbable, unlike oxide, which you just mentioned, and is really considered probably the best form if
mhm.
you're taking it specifically for sleep. So that's what I'm taking.
Well, and some of them become, larger pills to get the same amount, like all of that.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, and as you indicated, it's an individual choice. I'm not sure because by the time we get through some of these others, that brings me back to a multivitamin because
Yeah,
you
it
do need
really sounds that way so
to.
far.
So
You
yeah.
get a little bit of everything that you really need in one. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So and again, interactions, it can interact with statins for cholesterol lowering. If you're taking a statin, antibiotics, gabapentin. So there are a list of and some other medications that again, when you start taking any of these vitamins or minerals separately or in a higher dose, you may want to consider if you're on other medications just to see how they may interact.
I always like to suggest to people also that they check with their doctor
Yeah.
or their pharmacist. Very often pharmacists know
Yeah.
really know about
Let's
the interactions, sometimes even better than doctors themselves. But thank you for bringing that up for sure.